What's up, everybody? I'm Morgan Crosbie. Welcome to Cars and Crosbie. I have an awesome episode for you today. We are at Melanson Motors having a family reunion with some other Corvettes. Right behind me, I have a 61 and I also have a 66 period matching turbojet 427. We're going to get into details about that in a bit, but today I want to go over if my C8 Corvette does feel, drive, and also look like a Corvette. It's a question that I've been waiting to answer. I've had a lot of people come up to me on the streets and talk to me about my Corvette, and I want to get across, after having 3,000 kilometers on my Corvette, what my overall impressions are of the Corvette, and does it hold up to the standards of the Corvettes that I've driven in the past. So now that I have some kilometers on my Corvette, I finally want to get this question answered. It's been bugging me since I first saw the Corvette. Is it worthy of being the next generation? Does it hold up to all the hype? And is it also something that makes me feel like I'm in a Corvette compared to another vehicle? The short answer to it is no. I don't want to make this a downer video. It's not to try to say that this Corvette is in a league of its own. I just think that there are so many drastic changes that are in this generation that if I was to go into a coma and wake up and you were to put me inside of the C8 Corvette with no badging on it, I would have no way of knowing that this is a Corvette. And that's a good thing for a lot of reasons. We want to see progression over the years, and with the MSRPs on these vehicles only going up, you want to make sure that you're getting a great value for your money. So we're going to go through today a couple of the reasons why I feel that the C8 Corvette is in a league of its own, and it does not feel like in any way it is similar to any of the other Corvettes that I've ever driven. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the appearance. And right away, as you can see on this 427 turbojet, there is a very nice big V8 engine in the front. And because of that, the driver is further back in the vehicle. Because of this ratio, it's always an iconic look to see a long hood on a Corvette. And when the C7 to the C8 changed by 16 inches, there was a huge difference in the layout and the geometry of these Corvettes. From a side profile, I don't pick up on this in any way that this is a Corvette, and it has a lot to do with it being in a mid-engine format. Other things in terms of appearance come over time with technological advancements. The amount of cooling and the lighting that have changed over the years is something that you see on a lot of high-end exotic vehicles, but the side profile and the shape and geometry usually stay the same from one generation to the other. I have never seen a vehicle that has taken such a drastic change in terms of the layout of the vehicle that the C7 to the C8 generation did. Now, on the topic of the mid-engine, because it is such a big thing in terms of changing of appearance, I want to talk to you a little bit about the history behind why that is. In the C6 generation, while they were developing the ZR1 and the Z06 model, the engineers behind this team that were developing it already found out that there was a lot of limitations that they had in a front engine format. The traction limited abilities of the C6 platform when they added more power meant that they knew in the future they would have to go to a mid-engine format in order to get more performance. At the time, Bob Lutz was in charge of General Motors, and he specifically said to all the Corvette engineering teams, if you get caught working on a mid-engine format, you will get fired. So that easily canned the project. Not a lot of people are going to risk their job just to make a mid-engine format design Corvette. And so it wasn't until the C7 generation was in its development around 11 years ago to this day that the mid-engine Corvette format design started to come about. Originally, when they were developing the C8 Corvette, they actually planned on doing a two-tier strategy with having the C7 and the C8 at the same time. But after the development team brought the C7 and the C8 out for the board of directors to go through the two vehicles, it was very clear that the C8 Corvette had done leaps and bounds in terms of improvements and technological advancements that it made the C7 completely obsolete. So another reason why the mid-engine format came to be that, and also why the C7 is no longer around, is because of how revolutionary in terms of technological improvements and design the C8 was. Okay, so let's ask the last question, which is, if I was in a coma and I woke up inside of the C8 Corvette with no badges on it, would I recognize that I'm in a Corvette? Again, the answer is no. I have no way of being able to recollect any type of Corvette that has had the type of weight ratios that this Corvette has. Because 60% of the weight is in the rear and you are so much more forward, the center of gravity is now behind you slightly, and so therefore when you're going around a corner, you are actually being thrown around the corner. Whereas in other Corvettes in previous generations, the weight is all on the front, and so therefore the center of gravity is further back, and you're feeling the tail end that goes loose. In this thing, again, with having 60% of the power in the rear, or weight in the rear, you don't feel your tail end go out. You feel your front end, which doesn't have as much weight. And that was a new experience that I had to get used to, and therefore did not make me feel like I was driving a Corvette in any way. I love this Corvette. There's a lot of amazing things from a technological perspective that I have come to appreciate and learn about. And in no way am I upset that this drives very different. I am, if anything, a very happy customer because they've taken all this physics and data over the racing history. Pratt & Miller, who is their partner in the racing program, has helped them through the years and learned the limitations of what a front engine vehicle is. And they've done an amazing job at exceeding the expectations of a lot of us and making this new C8 Corvette unlike anything that we've had before. I'm not mad in any way that this doesn't drive like any other Corvette. There is plenty of time to be able to appreciate the ones from the previous years. But as a C8 owner, I can happily say that this is nothing like any Corvette, and I'm very happy of it. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about these Corvettes that we have here at Melanson Motors in Stratford, Ontario. This is a 62 with a C6 powertrain inside of it. This is an LS2. There's a very cool suspension that's put in it. I've talked about it in the past about how I really can appreciate the finer details that went on in the first generation interior. One of the things that I like most is the review mirror, and then also this concave dash here. To me, this is just absolute styling at its best, and it's just really awesome to see such a beautiful vehicle that's been restored with a more recent powertrain. Over here we have a period correct 427 turbojet. This is a 1966 Stingray. Just an amazing vehicle. The mid-years, in my opinion, are my favorite. I just love it. I wish it had some side pipes. That was an option from the factory. This owner decided not to burn his calves, which is fine with him, but I would have appreciated a little bit more. You've got your knockoffs on here. And a really beautiful color. It's amazing to think that these are all Corvettes, yet they're so different. And that's something that I just love about the Corvette brand. If you're ever interested in learning more about the previous models, or you're also interested in maybe getting a more classic Corvette, please don't hesitate to make a comment in the section below, and I can have one of my team members help you out, or I can have you hooked up with Melanson Motors. They have some amazing vehicles here as well. So stay tuned for more. Happy motoring, and thanks a lot for watching.